kids flip out. Go eat a handful of acid, then torch your mom's house. Happen a cult is all guts and no glory, especially when you throw yourself off of a cliff for me. What did I inhale? When will I prevail? I wanna ditch this bitch's corpse and smoke out the hotel.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. I've got another Scent Safari episode for you guys today. Today we're looking at a house called Solstice Scents. Before we talk about Solstice Scents, let's talk a little bit about Scent Safari. Scent Safari is a series on my channel where I reach out to houses that I don't know that much about, or that I feel like as a community don't get enough coverage. And Solstice Scents, how did I find out about this house? I don't remember, but I remember going to their website, jotting them down and moving on. And then when I started to do Scent Safari, I reached out to like 10 houses I thought might be interesting. And Angela St. John, who is Solstice Scents with her husband Greg, said, yep, I'd love to be on, but we're making a big transition. We're going to be doing EDPs. And most of her scents at the time were based in rice bran carrier oil and different from the scents that I'm used to. So she told me to fall back a little bit, wait. And then, right then and there, I realized that this was someone unbelievably passionate about the craft of making fragrances and making sure that she got me the right products. And eventually, when she had everything ready, she sent me an email making sure my address was current, and she gave me a little explanation of what she was sending me. So I got the package, and the first thing I want to say is I was so blown away by the packaging and the level of detail on everything. I always talk about presentation with product. That matters to me. The way a product is presented to me is a very big deal. And, these were a good deal of money in samples. And so I was really impressed by the materials that accompanied them. And because Angela put so much into this, I'm actually going to talk about 6 scents instead of the normal 4. And I'm going to talk about 4 of the new EDPs. And to stay true to the way that Solstice Scents came up, I'm going to talk about 2 of the oils. I just want to show you what I mean by some of the materials. Like, this is one of the cards that came, and in this one she talks about the night collection, so it has those fragrances, and look at that art. And then this is a postcard that just has a crazy amount of detail. Foxcroft, and in the back this is the Foxcroft collection. So again, you have the scents and you have the notes, and just look at this: sycamore sugarworks, tarts, banana, apple muffin, spice cakes, caramelized pear, rum glaze, cream puffs, maple walnut pastries. And then for each scent that she sent me these papers with notes on them and explanations of the scents. They come on like paper that looks like it's sort of old and vintage. You could see the patterns on it. Like, that sort of stuff blows me away. And like, I pay attention to it. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. When someone sends me something like this, I feel like I want to go that extra mile for that person and talk more about their fragrances. I can pretty easily tell who loves doing this and who likes it. I don't think at this level of artisan and indie, there's anyone who doesn't enjoy doing it. But it's really obvious to me that this is a house, and Angela is someone that loves doing this. Now, before we get into the fragrances real quick, let me just tell you some quick info on Solstice Scents. This is a house that really took form in Gainesville, Florida in 2004. They sold soaps, lotion, candles. They've evolved a bit into a blooming fragrance business. They're still all made in small batches. They are very into holistic medicine, natural history, herb use, holistic medicine. They're also into rescue animals, which really makes me happy. Most people don't know that I'm a huge animal lover. I've had dogs my entire life. I donate monthly to animal causes. And I always have said that my biggest failing as a human being is eating meat, which I am working on. All right, enough. Let's get into brass tacks, the fragrances, because let's be honest. If the fragrances aren't really good, none of the other shit really matters, right? This is a fragrance channel. I review fragrances, so let's do it. Okay, first up, The samples for most of these 3.3 ml bottles you see, most of them are $8.75, and most of the bottles we're going to talk about for the fragrances first are $70 for the 60 ml. So the first one we're going to talk about is this guy here, and it is called Library. Now I want you guys to know something. I'm wearing all 6 of these on my skin right now. The oils are on the back of my hands, and the 4 EDPs are on my pulse points, so they're all on skin. So Library is one of the newer EDP scents. You can grab that 3.3 ml sample for $8.75 or 60 ml for $70. So I really like these price points. Notes on this one, and this is from the Manor collection. Notes on this one are leather-bound books, carved rosewood mantle, dying fireplace embers, wood wainscoting or cutting, cedar shelving, and aged paper. And this one is not to be used by women who are pregnant or nursing. I think most of them are not. So this one, wow. This is really good. Like, this smells like a library. So I get resins for sure. I think some almost like dusty, musty vanilla. Definitely leather. To me, like, this at its core is a leather scent. The quality on this one is sick. Like, if this was at Oswald and you told me this was $400, I don't think I'd bat an eyelash. Yeah, this is a beautiful fragrance. All of my darker fragrance lovers out there, you need to get your nose on Library. This also sort of has like a bit of a cola scent to it, which I really like. Could be the woods and then sweetness, but like really impressive first look for me from Solstice. Next one is called Night Watcher. And this is $75 for 60 ml. The notes on this one is from the Woodland collection, are forest floor, treetops, bark, mountain air, fir, balsam, juniper moss, oud, dried herbs, and cedar tips. And this one is probably my favorite. I mean, this is like a forest, but not in a bad way. There are a couple of like foresty scents I've tried that the shit is just too granola for me. You know, like, I don't want to be feeling like I'm sleeping on leaves, you dig? But this is such a wonderful balance between authentic and wearable. I would definitely buy this and wear this. I want to go through everything else, you know, she sent me before I decide on buying something. I will definitely buy probably multiple things from Solstice. But we're 2 for 2 so far. This is an excellent fragrance. This is amazing. It reminds me a little bit, and probably the pine or the fir of the Imaginary Authors scent, Cape Heartache. But I actually like this one a little bit better. I think this one is sort of more complete and there's more going on. The next one is called Vanilla Pipe Tobacco. Okay? And notes on this one are chewy, unlit pipe tobacco and light, fragrant pipe smoke. And whoever runs Tom Ford at Estee Lauder should just hire Angela, reform Tobacco Vanille, and put this in the bottle, because this is the real Tobacco Vanille. No offense to Tobacco 1812, Tobacco Rouge, Eau de Bao, etc. This smells like vanilla pipe tobacco. If you want vanilla pipe tobacco or a vanilla tobacco scent, get this and fuck all the other shit. Now, with that said, some might find Tobacco Vanille to be a bit more wearable. I would understand that. But to me, you are not going to find a vanilla tobacco scent that is truer to vanilla tobacco than this one. That's just the bottom line. If I could only have one of all of those scents, I would personally have this one. Okay? So just want to get that out of the way. The last one from the EDPs we're going to talk about is Manor. Manor is $70 for 60 ml. Smelling it now. The notes on this one are woods, vanilla, musk, vanilla, and oud. This one doesn't blow me away. Keep it real. I feel like I've smelled something like this before. It's a woody vanilla musk fragrance with a touch of oud. Certainly not bad. For me, I don't think it could stand up with these other three. A little cedary maybe in this one. I wouldn't say don't check this one out. I would just say I like the other three before this one. So this one to me isn't like as good as the other three. That's my opinion. Now we're going to talk about 2 oils. She sent me a bunch of oils as well. The first one we're going to talk about is called Old Havana Oil, $15 for 5 ml. Prices on these are very fair, and I know there are oil people out there. I am not one of them, but I still thought I'd like to take a look at a few of these. The notes on Old Havana oil are tobacco, woods, sea mist, lime, and spices, and I love this. I really just get three things personally. That's tobacco, lime, and some woods. My favorite Cuban-themed fragrance is Cuba by Check and Speak, which is tobacco, rum, and mint. Some say it has a fecal note, and I sort of understand what they're saying, but I don't get a fecal note. I think this could be more someone's speed if someone was looking for a Cuban scent. What's really cool here is that that tobacco and vanilla pipe tobacco smells so much to me like pipe tobacco, and the tobacco here is way more, to me at least, about like cigar leaf. I used to roll up weed in frontal leaves, and this has that rich frontal leaf smell to me. So great by Angela, and yes, this is oil, but I would definitely wear this one. The next oil I want to talk to you guys about is called High Noon Oil. Notes on High Noon Oil, I guess this is supposed to be some Wild West shit. Notes on this one are worn holster leather, tobacco, whiskey, woods, sand, gun smoke, musk, and soft ladies perfume. This one is very interesting. I definitely get sand. I definitely get gun smoke. I've been around a few fired guns. Even in New York City. There's also this really interesting mix of whiskey and leather. I don't really get the ladies' perfume vibe out of this one. It's very nice. Again, I'm not an oil guy, but I definitely appreciate the artistic merit of this one. I think with oils, there's no doubt that the blending becomes, I think, more important because oils are really cohesive, if that makes sense. And pulling out individual notes becomes harder. I really like this one a lot. I'd be interested in checking this one out in EDP form if they ever do that. I really like it. It has a sweetness to it, but a smokiness. I just feel like with oils, I never get the projection out of them that I do with an EDP. But I really enjoyed these two, and I'm pretty thoroughly going to test out the other EDPs and oils that Angela sent me. Now, she also sent me a full 5 ml of a different oil called Sirocco, and I'm actually going to do a full review on that either later this year or early next year. So, what is my takeaway on Solstice scents after you've been watching for 12 minutes? Well, I'm just going to keep it 100. That's what I do. I smelled imaginary authors a long time before I feel like a lot of the imaginary authors hoopla began. And I told Josh, who owns imaginary authors, I told him that I felt like with his scents, there was like a third dimension. That's kind of hard to explain, right? But that there's the way something smells and then the way that it performs. But I felt like with his scents, there was like a real third dimension to them. Like they reminded me of a physical place, and they made me feel like I was at that place, like on some DeLorean shit. And the only other house that I feel that way about, honestly, from what I've smelled, is Solstice. Take that for what you want, I just felt like I knew imaginary authors was going to be something really special in the indie game, and I still don't think they've achieved what Josh should be achieving. Like why he is not at some of these stores like Lucky Scent, and why he's not at Bergdorf Goodman. I don't know, but I guess that's part of the game, And shit, I wish I could get maxed out in Barney's, but I wish I could just get it in New York, but whatever, whole other discussion. I feel that way about Solstice scents. Like I feel like this is going to be a big thing. I feel like the passion is there on behalf of Angela. But passion and enthusiasm on its own don't mean much. I've met some of the most enthusiastic, shitty musicians in the world, and they love music, but their shit just sucks, so they're not gonna go anywhere. And I don't say that, of course, because I'm a really nice guy, or at least sometimes I am. But it doesn't do much unless you have the skill as well. And when you have the skill and the passion at the same time, that's when you get greatness. Like that's what greatness is to me. It's a meeting of skill, like top skill and passion. And if you also combine like just discipline, if you take the passion and the skill and then the discipline to make your skill great, that's when you get the really best of anything. best of anything, especially an artistic set. And I'm not high right now. I know it sounds like I'm rambling a lot, but it's because I'm really excited about Solstice scents. I've been sober 3 years, so that's just the way that I feel about Solstice. Like, I just feel like this is something special, and I feel like anybody who's out there who hasn't experienced Solstice needs to. I've done a lot of Scent Safari, and I want to do a lot more Scent Safari. This is the best house I've explored on Scent Safari. I'm talking about Perfume del Forte, I'm talking about Memo, I'm talking about Parfum de Marly. No shots, they do their thing. These are the best fragrances I've smelled on Scent Safari. Take that as you will. You know, samples are $8.75. Go get some. Let me know I'm lying. I have no reason to be saying any of this. Titina Terenzi sent me 150 whatever bottle of perfume. So this is not about people sending me samples. Like, my integrity will never let me say something is nice if I don't think it is. I don't give a shit if you buy me a Bentley. Well, if you buy me a Bentley, I might lie for you. I'm not gonna lie about that. But no one sent me. This is just samples. This is the best house that I've smelled here yet. With that said, not even a criticism, but I would really like to see Solstice Scents take on lighter scents. I would love to see what she could do with like a tropical scent, or even just a eau de cologne. I would love to see like her spin on it. And who knows, maybe a collaboration one day between Max and Solstice Scents, because I try to only work with houses that get me really excited, and I'm so excited by Solstice Scents, and you guys should be really excited by Solstice Scents. And please go out there and support Solstice Scents. These are EDPs. You're getting 60 ml for like $70, $80. That is bananas. Like, you like, if you like Tobacco Vanille and you don't like this better, I don't understand what's wrong with you. Seriously, because this is just a better scent than Tobacco Vanille. I know Tobacco Vanille might be a little bit more wearable. This is real vanilla tobacco. Real deal. Like, I swear to God, it's the same thing as sticking your nose in a bag of vanilla pipe tobacco. Really, it really is. Like, I was so blown away by that. And, you know, I let my friends smell some of these too, and they were blown away. So I know I'm not just drinking Kool-Aid or whatever, man. Like, this is the truth. So I'm going to stop rambling. I've done 17 minutes. It's a very, very long video. I appreciate everyone for sticking with me. I'm sorry if you have heard banging. My new apartment, I live right next to the gym in my building, and some of these Andre the Giant steroid motherfuckers get very aggressive when they lift weights, and they just throw the shit on the ground. And I've gone out there and screamed a bunch of times, but I don't want to do it right now because I'm making a video, and I'm also trying to control my aggression. So Solstice Scents, guys, please check them out. I'm going to link them in the description. I am 100% backing them, co-signing them. These EDPs are the real deal. I want you to try them and let me know. We'll be back next week with more videos. Review this week. You guys should know what it is tonight.
Oh, Alex, clown, I can't even hold down my calic while I kick, fuck the ballots. Wonder why I found so much joy in being horrible, doing deplorable shit they find so adorable. I don't know if God gave me this brain. If he did, then there's a devil and he knows my name.